2-pound S.O.S. was designed just for fishing the trout magnet. It's a light line that's very strong. I catch giant fish in the 2-pound test. So you start with 2-pound line, then the next thing you have to have is a good light action rod, something with a good backbone. The S.O.S rod and the Trout Series rod that we sell has exactly that. It's a fast tip, it's not a noodle in the middle. Very important. When you're getting a reel, make sure you get a reel with a metal spool, open face, that has a good drag system on it. And make sure it's something that you can fish that light line on that's not a big spool. A 1000 series and smaller is perfect. The next part that's very crucial is the easy trout float. It's a very small float. It's got a slot in it. It makes it go on and off the line very easy. Once you get this setup done, this is the only thing you move as you fish. Now watch how easy this is. You take the easy trout float, you pull the little peg out, and you slide the float onto the line. The float now is just going through the big part of the hole, and I'll take the peg and pinch the float. Now it's stuck there. All I gotta do now when I go to different spots, pull the peg out, slide it up, and repeg it. Once you have your easy trout float on your line, you can tie your fluorocarbon leader to the main line coming out of your rod. Fluorocarbon is dense and clear in the water and helps the lure to fall more naturally, but more importantly, trout can't see it. Does this make a difference? Oh my, I would drive all the way back home today if I forgot this. Tie 18 to 24 inches of it on and take your main line coming out of your rod and your fluorocarbon leader and put the two ends together. Make a granny knot 3 times and tighten it down and you're ready to go. Once that 18 to 24 inches is on, you're ready to tie your trout magnet onto your fluorocarbon leader. First, you take your line and feed it through the eye. Do not ever use a snap or a swivel with the trout magnet. It completely messes the action up and it just doesn't work. So take the trout magnet and feed it through the line like this. Now at this point you can tie any line that's got a good twist in it. We like what we call the trout magnet knot. It's also called the Pitson knot, which is a very easy knot to tie and is very strong. Basically in my right hand I've created a gun and I run the line through my fingers, down through the trout magnet and up to the end. And if you notice, here's the end of the line right there. What we're going to do is we're going to spin the lure up over that tag end 5 or 6 times. Once it stops, in my right hand, I've created a loop. And I hold it right at the base of that loop until I can feed the line end through that loop. Then I grab a hold of it. I pull it just tight a little bit, then I can let go of that tag end. And a lot of times I'll wet this right through here so it doesn't kink up, and I'll slide that knot down and tighten it up. Now I trim off my end and I'm ready to go. Once your trout magnet is tied onto your main line, you want to make sure that the body is perfectly on straight. So here's how that works. The trout magnet's got a split in the tail. The body has a split in the tail. What you want to do is you want to take your hook and your body and you want to run the hook right through the center of that body and out the split of the tail. Once it comes out the split of the tail, if you push it up, it should look straight. If it does not look straight, re-thread it and put it back on. Now we're set. We set our drag because we have 2-pound lines, so we can pull it out. And now with this trout magnet system, you're ready to hit the stream.
Now, KastKing kind of made their name with their SuperPower braid. It's a 4-strand line for all poundage weights below 65 pounds. And above 65 pounds, you entered the 8-strand varieties. I typically use 15 to 30 pound braid in most of my fishing applications, and the example I have today is a 20 pound, so it's a 4-strand braid. Now this line is synonymous with a high value, affordable fishing braid. If you've never used fishing braid before and want to save some money, this is a great option to start out with. Again, you know, it's 4-strand, so it's a little coarser than the 8-strand braids that are out there. And if you can look really close, you can kind of see the textured grain that this line has. And again, it's 4-strand braid because it's one of the lighter lines, and it's a little coarse. So, you know, this is the line that will bite your finger if you miscast. This is the line that will cut through organic matter and kelp and grass, if you know that's the environments you're fishing in. So, you know, if you burn through a lot of line, if you are hard on your line, or if you need line that has a lot of cutting action and you don't necessarily care about having the thinnest line or the smoothest line, this is a great option, the KastKing SuperPower braid.
This is the fluorocarbon that started it all. Seaguar, 100% fluorocarbon leader material. Time tested and proven. It's what all the others are measured against. Why take chances on anything else? This is the one that guides, captains, and first mates all rely on. Seaguar actually invented fluorocarbon line and leader in 1971, and they're the only company in the world that extracts their own resins and extrudes their own fluorocarbon, and they do not rely on outside sources, so they get it right every time. Why take chances on anybody else? This is the fluorocarbon that has incredible knot strength. It's abrasion resistant, tensile strength, shock absorbency, and it's also virtually invisible to the fish under the water. Why is it invisible? Seaguar 100% fluorocarbon has the same refraction index that is very close to water. So when it's in the water, it looks like water. Mono might look the same outside of the water, but as soon as it's in the water, it's incredible the differences. Even braid, 30-pound braid is the same diameter as 8-pound mono. You think it'd be invisible in the water. It's not. It shows up like rope. In this pike footage, you can see the 30-pound braid, and the 50-pound fluorocarbon is invisible. Absolutely incredible. And talk about abrasion-resistant qualities. Pike and muskie have a great set of teeth on them. I've been using this to replace wire for about 10 years now. Wire kinks and snaps. Wire's very visible. The fish roll in the wire and it'll hurt your fish. The fluorocarbon, it holds up wonderfully to the pike and muskie. No break-offs, doesn't damage the fish, it's invisible, and you don't have to worry about it kinking up.